Hello, the name is Daman Dev Sood. Welcome to my weekly show, My Top Tips. Discussions today are going to be about certification process to an ISO standard. So my top tips on successful ISO certification. To start with, I would like to discuss quickly this BCM life cycle, which is now being called BCMS, Business Continuity Management System, in BCI's GPG 7. The moment you wish to implement BCM, you will have to initiate the program. BCM is a program. So you start from the top of the diagram. In the first stage, you will have to write the policy, BCM policy. That's the starting point. Policy, in simplest terms, is the intent and commitment of the top management. You will also write a manual containing all the processes, BCM processes. So, for example, how will you conduct BIA? How will you conduct RA, etc. Second stage is called analyze or understand the organization. This is where you conduct business impact analysis and risk assessment. These are two instruments to develop the specifications for business continuity or to develop the business continuity requirements. Once you know the requirements, you need to find a solution. So the requirement is a challenge which needs to be fixed, managed through solutions which are known as strategies. So you design or develop business continuity strategies. For example, if your people are not available, your strategy to do the basic minimum can be to allow them to work from home. If people are not available in the office, like lockdown, then they can work from alternate place, from home, for example, or any other location. In case of people unavailability, so building is available, people are not available, your strategy solution can be that alternate resources would have been developed, backup resources would have been developed, and they would work. There are always some assumptions in all solutions, in all strategies, which all go into the plan. So next stage is called implement. That's where you develop the business continuity plan and other associated plans. Either you develop, or if those already exist, then you attempt to bring these plans close to each other. Pick up what is already available, for example, in risk management. Plans are ready. That's a very good situation for any organization, but those need to be validated. So your plans and arrangements are not reliable yet. And there are different ways of ensuring that reliability. A simple review is valid, is good, or you conduct a test, or you conduct audits, internal audits. In the whole cycle, continual improvement is expected. So this is not stationary. Whatever you have done, whether this is your policy, BIAs, RAs, RTOs, RPOs, MBCOs, etc., the plan and arrangements, they are not stationary. These can evolve. These need to be reviewed, maintained, kept up to date, and improvements are expected. To embed business continuity in your organization or in your organization's culture, you will have to run through another sub-program within the large BCM program called training and awareness. Everyone needs to be trained. The extent of training may be different. So starting from the top management, the CEO needs to be trained on BCM, as well as the junior most, a janitor, a lift operator, guard, they also need to be trained on BCM. So quickly, this is BCM lifecycle or BCMS, Business Continuity Management System. BCMS according to BCI's GPG current version 7. You want to implement this and you want to get certified to this. That's what we are discussing today. So in certification steps, whether this is for BCMS, ISO 22301, or any other ISO standard, these steps are common. So the first one would be implement BCMS or implement ISMS or implement EMS, which you can do internally yourself, or you can take help from a consultancy. Once your BCMS is established, then you will attempt to go to the certification process. Certification is third party, and your consultant, if you have used a consultant, cannot be that certifying agency. So there are some process to be followed there. You will identify a certifying agency or body. They will conduct stage 1 review or assessment, in which mainly it is documentation review, and they can do that from their own office. Based on their observations, there may be a gap required after stage 1 assessment. That's where you will be closing those observations. And then comes the stage 2 of assessment. That's where this agency will come into your office, will conduct some interviews, meet people, site visits, etc. will be conducted. If any queries left unsorted from stage 1, those will also be worked upon. Once they are satisfied, you have passed assessment successfully, your certification is issued, which is valid for 3 years. But this needs to be maintained, which means this, assuming BCMS journey, this needs to continue in the year, even after your certification, and you would be making some improvements. Every year for next 2 years, now there will be a surveillance audit or assessment. So in year 2 and year 3, which is a little relaxed compared to the initial certification assessment. And after this, so 3 years gone, 4th year will be a recertification, and the process steps will be similar to what initial certification was. So this is the certification process for an ISO standard. And if you have attempted that or started that journey, here are quick tips about passing ISO certification in flying colors, or to ensure a successful certification to an ISO standard. It could be any. So there should be an intent, an implementation, and effectiveness. You show your or demonstrate your intent by writing a policy. A policy in existence means written, reviewed, approved, published, used, up to date. For implementation, you will showcase some artifacts. For example, you have the business continuity plan, which you have developed through a structured journey, having conducted BIAs and RAs. And after that, you will have to check the effectiveness also, for which, again, it is through reviews, audits, which is internal audit, and tests. You need to maintain records. So it's a combination of documents and records. That's the starting point when you want to go for certification. This journey could be months and years for an organization, depending on the size, complexity, nature, as well as the scope of this implementation. Continued commitment of the top management is mandatory. Now, this is not a written statement anywhere in any place, but it is checked. If it's found to be missing or lacking, it's not only that the auditor or assessor will find some gaps. You yourself will start feeling that the program is not doing well in the organization. So not the commitment, but the continued commitment of top management. Availability of required artifacts which are developed, reviewed, up to date, approved, etc. As I've said for policy. So it's with respect to other documents also. Everyone in the organization needs to be trained on, if you talk BCM, then on BCM, if you talk of ISMS, then on security, information security, etc. Everyone. Now, this degree of training will vary. Top management, 1 hour is enough. But the core team, the manager, IS manager or BC manager or environment manager, EHS manager, they need to go through thorough trainings. Implementer, lead implementer. Auditor, internal auditor, lead auditor. Specialized trainings. If I need to conduct risk management, risk assessment, in the whole package of which is called lead implementer training, for example, there is one module on risk management, but there can be a specialized training on risk management spanning to 1, 2, or 3 full days dedicated to only risk management. Similarly, to testing. Designing, developing, and delivering a test is an art. This needs to be learned. So there can be a training around that as well. So repeating, you will identify your audience, different groups, top management, lower level, everyone masses, everyone in the company, and in the middle you will have coordinators, managers, heads, etc. The content, the complexity, the duration of the training will vary accordingly. And I'm repeating, you need to maintain these training records also for successfully passing the assessment, the certification assessment. Communication about the program to all relevant interested parties, starting with internal communication. The policy is developed, but do people know about it? How have you told people about your policy? A response could be all policies are published on our intranet. There is a special section there. So this policy also is there. That's good, but that's not good enough. Your intent was good, you wanted to communicate. Your action was good, implementation that you have published it, but effectiveness may be doubtful. So only publishing on the internet is not enough, may not be enough. So you'll have to do different ways, different types of communication. Perhaps a link sent. If required, attachment sent through mail. Top management talking about this program, this policy in their talks. Frequency may be once in a quarter, once in a year, whenever the town hall meetings, for example, are held, they may like to talk about it. You have internal communications, internal magazine, you may like to publish something in that also. And then you will be able to claim that you have done good or enough communication about the program. Who all play a role in this program? Any company, any program, everyone in the company plays a role. But everyone perhaps doesn't understand this because we have not spent enough time on making them understand. CSR program, for example. The CSR team does it. It's their responsibility. Information security, IT has to do it. Those may be impressions which are not correct. We need to work upon that. A point is embedding when we say embedding business continuity in the organization's culture. That happens only when everyone is involved. That happens when everyone is being communicated with. So involvement of all relevant interested parties, internally, your employees, but your vendors, suppliers, customers all play a role in your program. Example that I have been taking again and again is a business continuity program, but these concepts are same for any ISO standard certification. There may be a regulator who is a relevant interested party, and they need to be involved, even if that involvement is just communication that we have done this. We have started this, now we are certified to this. Or actually, they may be involved in your tests also. Improvement inputs can come from any interested parties. And you involve them by inviting ideas from them. And this is very good technique. It's smart work. You wanted to involve me. I was not getting involved. Possible. But the moment you say inviting ideas from you, Daman, I may respond, and that generates interest. That means I'm involved in the program. A smart work. This is how you may have to work. Nothing comes free in this world. So any management system implementation also is not free. You will have to spend time, money, effort. This goes to the top management responsibility that they need to provide resources. And then a little modification in this statement. I do not need resources. I need appropriate resources for the success of the program as well as for the success of certification. And when we say resources, this includes budget as well. The moment we say appropriate resources, we link this with the previous step called training. Everyone needs to be. Initially, perhaps we were not, but then we have taken them through our training program, and now they have the capabilities, skills, or competency. This is all you will claim with the assessor. Very important point is to link this program with your vision, mission, values, purpose, objectives of the organization. We are human beings, and by nature, we have a tendency to oppose any change. So any company, anywhere in the world, any program, there can be resistance by the people. At the back of the mind is the big question, what's in it for me? If you are able to tell me, make me understand what's in it for me, I'm your friend forever. I'm fully involved in the program, and that's the winning situation for you. So I'm supposed to live to the values of the company if you are able to establish this connection, either of business continuity program or information security program or environment management program. If you are able to link this to the vision, mission, values, purpose, objectives. So this is how that big riddle is resolved for me. What's in it for me? The one is linked with your salary directly, indirectly, and you do contribute to this. A very important step, but in my audit experience, I have found this to be a gap. Very easy to say, understand, but not done, because it's a simple step also. And also integration of other management systems. There has been a talk of integrated management system. There are many, 3, 5, 10, 15 perhaps in an organization. And integrating so many may be a very challenging task. There have been examples where 2, 3 have been integrated. But even if you don't make 3 into 1, even if 5 are talking to each other, that still is integration. For example, if you initiate business continuity program, you need to conduct a risk assessment there, but there may already be an ERM program in the company, enterprise risk management. So do not reinvent the wheel, attempt to pick up from there. BCM may find extra risk, please provide those to ERM, and then both are working hand in hand. You develop or change, your existing policies. Example, again from business continuity portal. You already have a procurement policy. In the past, perhaps you didn't think that way. Now, when you have started business continuity program, you update your procurement policy or vendor development policy, that now you will be asking the vendor, their suppliers, also some questions around their business continuity, because your business depends on their business. So if you are doing that, you are creating very good examples, as well as you are improving upon your deliveries and your business, and then the certification becomes easy for you. Not guarantees, I wouldn't say that, but ensures high degree of success in passing your ISO certification step. The last point that I want to talk about today is about continual improvement of either business continuity management system or any other management system. There have been cases in the world when an organization completed the implementation process fast cycle and immediately was looking forward to certification. There will be challenges in passing the certification by this company, because once it is implemented, only after that some improvements will also happen, when you will be able to claim that this is a system now. So the management system or system is when we have started making improvements also. So it has to be a substantial time. There is no rule. No one can say whether it is 1 month, 3 months, or a year. With your dedicated, continued, serious efforts, you will be able to make some improvements. And then again, for the assessment, you need to keep evidences. So evidence of those improvements also, whether it was in policy, whether it was in your template, whether it was in your process or arrangement. Please maintain the evidences. Repeating again, if you say you have a document, the term used is documented information. You need to have documented information, which means written, reviewed, approved at least. Then up to date and used, and checking the effectiveness of the document or effectiveness of the usage of that document as well. Well, the talk today was from the point of view of an ISO certification, but whether you want to have a certification or not, following these steps will make your management system effective, and your business will be reaping benefits from that. If you have any questions about this discussion, today's discussion about passing an ISO certification successfully, or otherwise about resilience, please feel free to write to me at any time. I'll be happy to respond. With this, logging off. This was my weekly show, my top tips. Roughly 15 minutes every day every Wednesday is an attempt Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday also. Bye-bye.